Amarna, often referred to as the Hidden City, serves as a fascinating focal point in ancient Egyptian history, primarily due to its association with Pharaoh Akhenaten's reign. Akhenaten, originally named Amenhotep IV, took the throne in the 14th century BCE and initiated drastic changes that profoundly impacted Egyptian society, art, and religion. He is best known for abandoning traditional Egyptian polytheism in favor of worship centered around a single deity, Aten, the sun disk. To embody this new religious ideology, Akhenaten established a new capital city, Akhenaten, known today as Amarna. This move was as much symbolic as it was practical, representing a break from the powerful priesthood of Amun and the established religious customs of Thebes. The significance of Amarna lies in its role as a tangible manifestation of Akhenaten's religious and cultural revolution. It provides a unique archaeological record of a brief, radical departure from millennia-old traditions. Within its boundaries, Akhenaten attempted to craft a society governed by his vision of worship and governance, resulting in distinct artistic styles and urban planning that focused on openness and sunlight, aligning with Aten's worship. This dramatic shift is notably captured in the expressions of art and sculpture found at Amarna, where figures are depicted in a more naturalistic and relaxed style compared to the rigid conventions of earlier Egyptian art. Two key examples highlight Amarna's importance: the Great Temple of Aten, which embodies the open-air worship central to Akhenaten's new religion, and the Amarna letters, clay tablets that provide insight into the diplomatic relationships and societal issues of the time. These artifacts underscore the profound impact of Akhenaten's vision not only on his city, but also on the broader geopolitical stage. Opinions on Akhenaten's reign vary, with some scholars lauding him as an early proponent of monotheism and an innovative thinker, while others criticize his reforms as disruptive and responsible for destabilizing traditional Egyptian society. His radical religious changes were met with resistance and ultimately reversed after his death, illustrating the challenges and controversies inherent in his policies. Amarna's story is inextricably linked to broader themes of power, religion, and cultural change in ancient Egypt. It offers insights into how religious ideology can influence societal structures and reflects the tension between innovation and tradition. Understanding Amarna and Akhenaten's reign provides a deeper comprehension of the complexities involved in the governance of ancient civilizations and the potential challenges of implementing radical reforms. The founding of Amarna, vision and purpose, is a concept centered on the unique establishment of the city of Amarna, built by Pharaoh Akhenaten during the 14th century BCE. Amarna served as the capital of ancient Egypt for nearly 2 decades and represented a radical shift in Egyptian religion, culture, and politics. The city's founding is intrinsically tied to Akhenaten's revolutionary vision of monotheism, centered around the worship of Aten, the sun disk deity. This move was both religiously innovative and politically audacious, as it challenged the traditional polytheistic beliefs and the powerful priesthood of Amun. The significance of Amarna's founding lies in its representation of Akhenaten's attempt to centralize religious power and reshape Egyptian ideology. By relocating the capital from Thebes to a new, previously uninhabited site, Akhenaten sought to physically and symbolically distance himself from the entrenched religious institutions. This demonstrates the intent to construct a city aligned with his theological principles, thereby underscoring the interconnectedness of power, architecture, and religious ideology in ancient Egypt. Real-world illustrations of this vision include the distinctive artistic style that emerged, now known as the Amarna style. This approach embraced more naturalistic and relaxed depictions of the human form and daily life, a departure from the rigid formalism seen in previous Egyptian art. Another example is the Great Temple of Aten, which lacked the dark, confined spaces of traditional temples, opting instead for open courtyards that allowed sunlight to flood the sacred spaces, symbolically aligning with the worship of Aten. While some scholars admire Akhenaten's bold religious reforms, describing him as an early proponent of monotheism, others argue that his drastic measures destabilized Egypt. Critics point out that his focus on Aten may have alienated large portions of the population who held traditional beliefs, contributing to socio-political unrest. Controversially, Amarna's founding and its subsequent abandonment also raises questions about the sustainability of radical religious reforms. After Akhenaten's death, his successors swiftly moved the capital back to Thebes and restored polytheism, highlighting resistance to his singular vision. This point of the founding of Amarna connects deeply with other aspects of Akhenaten's reign, influencing the socio-political structure, art, and religious practices of the time. Furthermore, it offers insights into the complexities of leadership when innovative visions confront established traditions. Thus, the establishment of Amarna is both a testament to Akhenaten's bold ambition and a cautionary tale of the challenges inherent in enacting sweeping cultural reforms. The artistic and religious revolution in Amarna during the reign of Akhenaten marks a profound and unique shift in ancient Egyptian history. Akhenaten, originally known as Amenhotep IV, ascended to the throne in the 14th century BCE and initiated radical changes that affected both the religious and artistic landscapes of Egypt. At the heart of this revolution was the establishment of a monotheistic worship centered around Aten, the sun disk, which replaced the traditional polytheistic belief system dominated by the god Amun. This ideological shift was manifested in the construction of a new capital, Akhenaten, modern-day Amarna, dedicated to Aten. The significance of this revolutionary change lies in its challenge to the established norms of Egyptian society. Akhenaten's religious reforms disrupted the powerful priesthood of Amun, redistributing religious power and altering the traditional pantheon of gods. Artistically, the Amarna period introduced a distinctive style marked by a more naturalistic and less rigid portrayal of the human form. Royal figures were depicted with elongated limbs and exaggerated features, diverging from the idealized forms of earlier periods. This artistic evolution reflects a broader narrative of change under Akhenaten's rule, illustrating a deliberate break from the past. Specific examples of this artistic and religious innovation include the Amarna letters, which document the diplomatic communications and demonstrate the city's significance as a political and cultural hub. Additionally, the depiction of the royal family in the famous Aten worship scenes, such as the stelae showing Akhenaten, Nefertiti, and their daughters in a domestic setting, highlights the intimate and personal relationship with the deity Aten. Contrary to previous depictions of divine interactions, advocates of Akhenaten's reforms argue that this was an attempt to centralize religious power and depict a more personal relationship with a single deity. However, these changes were not without controversy. The monotheistic shift alienated many who were loyal to the traditional gods and the powerful Amun priesthood, leading to resistance and contributing to the downfall of Amarna's legacy after Akhenaten's death. The artistic and religious revolution in Amarna is deeply intertwined with other aspects of Akhenaten's reign, influencing both domestic policy and international relations. The centralization of religious power had political ramifications, while the artistic innovations provided a new form of expression that made this period distinct in Egyptian history. This period demonstrates the complex dynamics between religion, art, and politics, ultimately contributing to the rich tapestry of ancient Egyptian civilization. The urban planning and architecture of Amarna, or Akhenaten as it was known in antiquity, represent groundbreaking approaches to city design and religious reform during the reign of Pharaoh Akhenaten in the 14th century BCE. This city was constructed as the new capital of Egypt, founded to serve the revolutionary monotheistic worship of Aten, the sun disk. Unlike traditional Egyptian cities, Amarna was built from scratch, embodying a unique purpose and architectural vision that set it apart from other ancient urban centers. The significance of Amarna's urban planning lies in its reflection of Akhenaten's ideological shift towards Atenism. The city was systematically laid out with a focus on religious expression, featuring wide streets and spacious temple complexes. Its design emphasized openness to the sun, reinforcing the religious centrality of Aten. The Royal Road was a central artery of the city, connecting key structures like the Great Aten Temple and Akhenaten's Palace, demonstrating a clear, organized layout focused on the divine. Two notable examples of this urban planning are the Great Aten Temple and the Central City Complex. The temple, devoid of a roof to allow sunlight to flood the sanctuary, highlights the architectural embodiment of Akhenaten's religious reforms. Meanwhile, the central city housed palatial structures and government buildings, integrating administrative and religious functions, a tangible expression of Akhenaten's centralized power and religious zeal. Supporters of Amarna's urban planning view it as a bold reflection of Akhenaten's visionary leadership. The city's layout is considered an architectural marvel that provides insights into the pharaoh's attempts to consolidate religious and political power. However, critics argue that the rapid construction and the city's eventual abandonment highlight the unsustainability of such an ambitious project. The lack of resources and political instability following Akhenaten's death are seen as key reasons for Amarna's decline, raising questions about the feasibility of ideologically driven urban planning. Amarna's architecture and planning connect deeply with Akhenaten's religious reforms, symbolizing his attempts to redefine Egyptian society's spiritual foundations. However, the city's fate also reflects the inherent challenges of enforcing drastic ideological changes, providing a cautionary tale of visionary urban planning driven by singular religious conviction. This exploration of Amarna offers a lens into the complexities of merging religion, governance, and city planning, revealing the impact of such endeavors on the historical and cultural fabric of ancient Egypt.